Fucking W, you go crazy.
Lil Sam on the track. Sam on the track.
Hey, coach. Yes, you. If your team is winning, but you're losing in the process, are you really succeeding? Think about that for a moment.
Hey, coach. Yes, you. You feeling burned out? Players not locked in? Parent drama wearing you down? Well, this is the place for you. The Coaches C.O.D.E podcast, where we help you lead with purpose, protect your peace, and build programs that last. So do me a favor, coach. Subscribe to this channel, hit that bell if you're on YouTube, and share this with another coach who's trying to do it the right way. Your journey just got a whole lot stronger. Welcome to the Coaches C.O.D.E podcast.
All right, then. So, welcome to another episode of the Coaches C.O.D.E podcast. Before we jump in, before we go any further, we got something that we'll do here every week. And I want you all to look right there on the screen with me, and I'm going to read it right along with you. We're going to declare this over our lives as coaches. Definitely excited about another week, another opportunity to chop it up with you all here on the Coaches C.O.D.E podcast. So let's jump right into this, and let's speak this over our lives, coaches. I am bound by purpose. I don't need to have it all figured out to be effective. I don't need to be flawless to be faithful. I don't need to be perfect to be honest. I lead others not because I've arrived, but because I've been through the fire and I choose to grow. I will live by the Coach's Code. I will coach with purpose. I will optimize team dynamics. I will drive success through well-being. I will empower through modeling. I am not overwhelmed. I am on assignment. I was built for this. I am still becoming. And even in the becoming, I am enough. I will finish my assignment with joy. I will steward every moment and every life I touch. And when I fail, I will get back up through God's mercy. I am bound by purpose and I will lead like it. All right. So I appreciate you all for tuning in again as you're joining in. If you haven't done it already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you share this out with another coach or athletic director or any type of leader. In today's episode, I want to break down how redefining what success really meant saved me from burnout. Okay. Not saying that I never experienced it, but it saved me from living as a burned out coach and would help me build a program that focused on lives, not just records. You'll walk away with practical steps to align your coaching vision with your values and lead with deeper impact. So I want to jump right in and just start with a quote from my book, The Complete Coach, found in chapter 2. And this is going to start off the show today in the direction that we're going. And it reads, your vision and mission are the compass that guides your program through both calm seas and stormy weathers. Hold them close, for they will lead you to not just success, but fulfillment. So remember last week, we started to already lay the foundation and lay the groundwork talking about mission and vision. I'm going to read that one more time for you. This is out of chapter 2 of my book, The Complete Coach. Your vision and mission are the compass that guide your program through both calm seas and stormy waters. Hold them close, for they will lead you to not just success, but fulfillment. Okay? So today what we're going to do is that in teaching the code, what I want to do is share an experience with me to help understand what having a vision and mission did for me as a coach. When I started off, of course, I had different points in my career, but this was a specific area. I was at Fair Park High School here in Shreveport, Louisiana, for about 6 years. That was my longest tenure. And that's where I saw the incremental growth and where I believe that I became who I was as a leader and as a coach. But during that time frame, the bottom line is I'm just like anybody else. I said I want to win games and I want to help kids. That's what we say as coaches. If you talk to almost any coach, that's what's going to be said. I want to win games. I want to help kids. I want to help kids get scholarships. So I was just like anybody else. But I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't have a blueprint or anything etched in stone to help me with that. Now, I did have mentors. I did have different people that I talked to during that time frame to help me with understanding some stuff. Now, they didn't have a blueprint either. They had experience, but didn't have anything in place like I've created with the Complete Coach, a blueprint to help develop those things. But for me, I remember not really knowing how I was going to develop the program that I said that I wanted to. And so during that time frame, for those that know my story, I hit rock bottom with my life, with my marriage, with church, becoming a new father. Everything was just dark and gloomy. And I got stopped and had to realize that, hey, I wasn't going in the right direction really, really, really fast. But when I got to that place to where I understood exactly who I was and what I brought to the table and what my mission was, that's when I was able to coach more effectively, because now that was my North Star. That was the place that I focused on in order to be able to lead and to coach effectively. And for me, you'll hear me say it a million times, I coach boys, high school boys, and it's always for me to create young men who want to lead families, to be committed husbands and fathers. And so with that, as a husband and father who still is learning, I've been married now for over 20 years, well over 20 years, and still learning. The bottom line is, with that, the journey that I go on personally, I take my players along with me. And so me knowing that ultimately I want to give my young men what it takes to be able to want to lead a family, because I can't make them do it. But in the case that they get married, have children, or they just have children, whatever that situation is, in order to give them the tools necessary to lead, that's how I coached. So for me, one of the things that I said this in a live on Instagram, for me, I don't believe it's fair to fuss and to argue and all these different things with young people and in any type of leadership capacity when I don't teach them what it is I'm expecting out of them. Once I let them know what we expect on a day-to-day basis, then I'm able to hold them accountable. So remember this. You want to keep your vision and your mission close. You want to make sure that every day that you have your practice plan, that every day that the things that you're trying to harp on and to lead with, those things every single day, you have your vision and your mission in front of you so that you can develop each day based on that. Okay, so it's very, very, very important. So this is where now that I have the Coaches Code framework developed, of course, for those that's been following, I have 4 pillars in code: C.O.D.E. C is for coach for purpose, O is for optimized team dynamics, D is for drive success through well-being, E is for empower through modeling. So today in this chapter 2, what we want to focus on is coaching with purpose. Okay, that's the pillar we want to focus on today. And so I had to get brutally honest about what my vision was and the difference between what I said mattered and what I actually modeled. So there was a time in my career that the things that would come out of my mouth, I was not living. Now, mind you, we're not perfect beings. We don't do every little thing right. But when we have something that we live by, for me in my life, it's the Holy Bible. Now, like I told you, do I get every single decision right? No. But it's the place that I hold myself accountable. Okay. That's the place that I go to when I need to be reminded of what it is that I'm doing as a leader and what I'm expecting out of my players. So remember the difference. I get brutally honest with, and knowing the difference between what I said and what I was actually modeling. And guess what? Your children will remind you of that. They will. I'm telling you. They'll bring it up. When you open up that door of transparency with your players, they will remind you of that. And that's a great thing. So you can't be afraid of setting standards for those that you're leading, because you're going to be held accountable by that as well. Okay. So now from chapter 2 of my book, The Complete Coach, there are 3 key truths that jumped out in this book in chapter 2. And one of those things is, I want you to make sure that you're following along with this. So I am going to read this, okay? And it is, define what success looks like, okay? Define what success looks like. And it reads this: start by articulating your ultimate goal. Your vision should reflect both your ambition and your values, as found in my book, chapter 2. Like, think about this. Start by articulating your ultimate goal. Your vision should reflect both your ambition and your value. So you think about this. You got to define what success looks like. That comes from you. That doesn't come from anybody else. Okay. Ultimately, we want to win games. Yes. But also in the midst of winning, we want our program to look a certain way. We want people to be reminded when they see us, and there's a definition of what it looks like for your team when they see you walking in the gym or on the field. Okay. So you're in control of that by what you stand for. All right. So you define what success looks like, and you tell that to your team. Okay. And how we're going to develop into the type of program we want to be. I had to sit down and write out what success really meant to me. Okay. And it was growth, character, unity, and impact beyond the scoreboard. Those are things that mattered to me. Okay. Even when I wasn't living that out, it's what I wanted to become. I didn't know how to get there until I started living it. Y'all see what I'm saying? Growing, character, okay, being unified and having an impact bigger than the scoreboard. Okay. Now, the second thing is, align your activities with your vision. Okay. You must align your activities with the vision that you have. Okay. I'm going to read this excerpt from chapter 2 as well. Regularly review activities and initiatives to ensure they directly contribute to achieving your vision. Think about that. Regularly review activities and initiatives to ensure they directly contribute to achieving your vision. So that means that everything that we do every single day, you want to make sure it lines up with how you want your program to do. It helps you to cut out on fluff and extra stuff. You know, we go to clinics, we talk to other coaches, we want to try new things, but you got to make sure that everything that you do, things on the quarter field, things off the quarter field, in the classroom, at home. I got some here that's real funny for you, but we actually did this. I challenged my team one year to get up every morning and to hold themselves and each other accountable to make up their bed before they left the house. Now, what does it have to do with anything? It's not doing anything. Making up your bed. Well, first off, you help your parents out, keep your room clean. That's one thing. But ultimately, it was holding yourself accountable to something you gave your word to your teammates. And then the teammates would meet together or text each other or whatever and ask, hey, man, did you make your bed? Hey, man, did you make your bed? What am I doing now? One of my pillars is trust. And what's happening is that they're developing trust, okay, in each other, because that's something that I'm trying to develop on the court. They're developing trust because they have an activity that they say, hey, we're holding ourselves accountable for this. We're going to make our bed every morning. Seems silly, but guess what? It worked. Okay, it worked. And so we want to make sure that we have total understanding that we align every activity, whatever it is that you come up with, that you align it with your vision. So I begin filtering everything, practice schedules, team meetings, even my own behaviors through the lens of that vision. All right. So the third and final thing, to communicate constantly. Communicate constantly. Okay. One of the, in my book, The Complete Coach, here is a quote. It says, keep the vision in the forefront of everyone's minds. reinforce commitment and focus. Think about that. Communicate constantly. Here's the quote. Keep the vision in the forefront of everyone's minds. Okay. So every single day you should be talking about that. Reinforce commitment and focus. So it's very, very important that on a day-to-day basis that you get on your players' nerves. Okay. Get on their nerves with repeating the same thing every single day. Okay. Because what happens is that the most successful people on earth have habits, they have routines, they have rituals and things that they do. Okay. So I appreciate you for being able to understand that we're going to do that on a day-to-day basis. Okay. I realized I had to share this vision, not just once at the start of the year, but daily through words, actions, and accountability. Okay. So we want to make sure that we're doing that. Okay. Thank you so much for that. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to let you know that. Okay. So keep that vision in front. Now, we're going to pause for a moment for a brief word from our sponsor.
Hey, Coach. Yes, you. I know you've got a lot on your plate. Practice plans, scouting, keeping your players motivated, and still trying to show up strong at home. That's why I created the Complete Coach book and the Strategies in Action Workbook. These two resources are built from the trenches for coaches who want to lead without burning out, who want to build culture and accountability that sticks. Inside, you'll find proven tools for setting a clear vision, balancing life and leadership, and getting your athletes to buy in. So, if you've been looking for a playbook that's bigger than basketball, football, baseball, or whatever team sport you coach at any level, this is it. Grab your copies today at eddiejhamilton.com/complete coach or click the link in the description. Now, let's continue this episode.
So now we're going to jump into our the shift that takes place, reframing and the transformation. Okay, because it's very important we close out and understand what it is that you are looking for as a reframing and a transformation for you as a coach as you're developing or even just shifting the mindset that you have for your teammates. So or for your teams. So here's what changed for me. I stopped chasing wins and I started chasing alignment. Okay. Meaning I wanted our team to win, but I also was concerned about not skipping steps to play at the highest level and being able to compete with the best programs consistently. So that means we had to be aligned every day. That was my focus. One of my mantras is winning habits before winning happens. Okay. Winning habits before winning habits happens. So you got to remember as a coach that just because you have little talent or a lot of talent, you have steps in place that aligns you with how you want your program to look, how you want your teams to play in order to compete on a consistent level, okay? And not sacrificing skipping the steps, okay? I realized that if I didn't coach from peace, I'd keep leading from pressure, okay? And my players will feel it. They'll feel every bit of it because my demeanor, how I carry myself, and the different moments in games, it can be felt because I got to make sure that I'm aligned and I'm at peace with how I want to develop my program, how I want my teams to play. So remember that align yourself with your mission and vision so you can coach from peace and not pressure. This mindset came from wanting them to play with confidence against the top programs on any given night and to be prepared for life's blows and punches that come whether you want them or not. So I want my young men to be ready for life. My old pastor in Natchitoches, I always say this, Richard Stampley always says this. God created men to make our best decisions under pressure. Now, you can say that for your athletes, but that's one of the things because I coach boys mostly is I tell them God created us as young men to make our best decisions under pressure. And you do that by having a compass, by having a vision, having a mission, and aligning yourself with that. Okay. So I hope this is helping you out. We're getting ready to close out. Once I aligned my mission, values, and voice, I became the coach my athletes actually needed, not just to win games, but to win in life. Okay, so remember that. If you're anything like me and there's something you have a takeaway for that, you want to remember that you want your athletes to win in life and not games. So as a coach, I need to be what's coming out of my mouth. And that's what helps keep everything alive. Okay. So I hope this helped you to redefine success. Okay. Understand how it's more important than just a scoreboard. Yes, and we do want to win, but make sure you're defining success and not letting people define success for your program. So I hope this video has been a blessing to you. Remember, hit that like, subscribe button on you here on YouTube, and make sure you share this video with somebody if it's been a blessing. All right. Until next week, God bless you, Coach.
Hey, Coach. Yes, you. First, thank you for tuning in to tonight's show. Before you go, don't forget, everything you need to lead well and last long is waiting for you at my website, eddiejhamilton.com/shop. Devotionals, digital workbooks, tools to build culture, and real strategies to help you navigate coaching, family, and faith. It's all there. So do me a favor, Coach. Click that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and share this with a coach who's ready to lead with purpose. We're in this together. Let's build something that lasts. Hopefully, I'll see you at the next show coming soon. So stay tuned. Have a great day, Coach.